Let us remember we're in the holy presence of God, and let us adore him. Be assured that you are pleasing to God. St. Kateri. Now, St. Kateri was a young Native American who was persecuted and fled because of her faith. She walked over many and many wilderness and eventually died saying, "Jesus, I love you." And Pope Francis mentions this in Christus Vivit. Now, what is Christus Vivit? Christ is alive. The first ever Vatican document addressed to you, on young people, about faith, vocation and discernment. Pope Francis uses her as an example to inspire us on our own personal faith journeys. Be assured that you are pleasing to God. Now, St. Kateri was born in 1656, and her name Kateri, you might be thinking, is really unusual. I haven't heard that before. Well, it's actually Catherine from the Mohawk tribe, which is the community that she used to belong to, and that name originates from a more prominent saint, a doctor of the church, St. Catherine Siena. She was the first ever Native American to be a saint in the Catholic Church, and is recognised as a patron saint of environment, ecology, people in exile and Native Americans. But she had a very, very interesting path to sainthood. At the age of 19, she converted to Catholicism and, taking a vow of chastity, pledged only to marry Jesus Christ. Her decision was very unpopular with her Mohawk tribe and her community. They were very against it, and because of this she had to flee to another community where she was accepted. But all after this, she still said yes. She said yes to follow Jesus. Jesus, I love you. Now, for me, this is really powerful, incomprehensible, to be honest, that a woman of her age could say this, could do this. Myself, I converted to Catholicism at 19, and I was nothing like St. Kateri in any shape or form. I was nervous, afraid and scared. But I suppose, like St. Kateri, I said yes. And this is what we are called to do, to reflect on our faith, and as St. John Baptist de la Salle calls us to do, remember that we are always in the presence of God. Be assured that you are pleasing to God. You are pleasing in the sight of God. You are loved infinitely and always valued. Wherever we are on our faith journey, God is there encouraging us along in our small, in our gigantic leaps of faith in our day-to-day life. And this is what St. Kateri did. She took a gigantic, massive leap of faith, went against her community, all she knew, but she knew she was doing the right thing. And for this next bit of time, I invite you to think over that and reflect on these questions that I'm about to ask you. Have you always done the right thing? When have you taken a leap of faith? How can you be courageous like St. Kateri? Where are you on your faith journey? St. Kateri embodies one of my favourite Bible passages. You shall love your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. When there are times of distress and hardship and struggle, which is prominent and prevalent at this time, we need to remember that God is always there in our midst, guiding and supporting us. And this is what we're called to do, in our actions, in our thoughts, and in our words. We should all be striving for sainthood. Saint Kateri was just a normal girl, just like us, but she said yes. Where can we say yes in our lives? And that's something that's different for everybody. My yes, your yes, completely different circumstances, but it's still a yes. Strive to be the best version of yourself and incorporate God into your life wherever is possible. And that sounds a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of time. I can't do this. I'm not capable. I'm not called to be a saint. Yes. And Saint Kateri is an inspiration of this. If she can do it, you can do it. God, we awake from sleep and begin a new day with you. We ask you to open our hearts, to recognise what lies before us today, and to embrace what you give us. Saint Kateri, pray for us. Saint John Baptist de la Salle, pray for us. Live Jesus in our hearts forever.